So earlier today, I'm sitting at my desk, working on a project, as usual. And I got the charts up on another monitor. I glanced at the numbers, nothing too exciting. We're sitting at 28.29, no big deal. The same range we've been in for months. But I had Chipotle earlier in the day. And, as usual, it came back with a vengeance. So I ran to the bathroom and took a 20-minute emergency Chipotle shit, which then turned into a 20-minute disgusted with myself shower. I got out of the shower, dried off, put some new clothes on, sat back in my chair at my desk. And during my Chipotle shit shower combo, Bitcoin went from $29,000 to $34,000. I missed the whole move. CryptoFace caught the whole move because he did not eat Chipotle the way I did. Some of you have guessed it, I am crypto guy on the internet. Nice work. And so what happened? Yeah, I hold the assets, I still made money, but I didn't get to trade any of it. Big bummer. So what happened? We have a lot of good stories lately, but the big one that set it off was BlackRock planning to seed its spot Bitcoin ETF in October. And October's got a week left, so they're going to seed this ETF. Seeding is they buy up some Bitcoin to get the ETF rolling. Now, they're not going to buy a ton, just enough to get the ETF moving. But none of the ETFs have been approved, right? We thought we'd have to wait till March before BlackRock's ETF was approved. If anything, it's ARK Invest. That's Cathie Wood. She's supposed to be first in line, right? A few months ahead of time. Well, BlackRock sees otherwise. You're not going to seed an ETF unless you know it's going to happen. And if you're going to seed the ETF, that means it's going live in a month, maybe 2 months. So this, it's not approved, it's not official, but BlackRock thinks it is. And they're not a we'll wait and see type company. They don't do things on a maybe. BlackRock is the biggest asset manager in the world. They own everybody. So if they're seeding their ETF, it's on. And the market agreed. And so while I was taking a shit, it exploded. Both the shit and the price of the Bitcoin. Now we're sitting just under 35,000. Now if you look at Bitcoin's chart going back, 31,000, we've been hitting our head on it. There's a lot of trade volume in that area, right? But there's nothing between 31 and 35. There is nobody in the way until 35,000 and some change. That's a CME gap we have to fill. We'll hit that. But then going back about a year and a half, January 22, and then earlier, this is summer of 21. There's a lot of volume in this 35, 38,000 range that we're going to run into. We're going to have to break through that, okay? That's going to take some work. But between 31 and 35,000, there's no resistance. So we flew straight through it. And now we're finally slowing down just under 35,000. So should you FOMO and buy some Bitcoin right now? You can do whatever you want. But I personally, I'm taking a little profit because my average buy-in price was 21,000. I've been DCAing for quite some time now. I'm waiting for us to bump our head on this bit of resistance, and we'll have a little stutter step pullback, and then maybe I'll buy a little then. But the outlook is bullish. This is the biggest piece of news we've had in a year and a half. Okay? Huge, huge. We also had a couple other good things. Jim Cramer was talking trash. Every time Jim Cramer talks poorly on Bitcoin, I put a smiley face on my chart the moment he says that, and then I buy some. And so the last time he was talking trash was on October 11th. Mr. Bitcoin is about to go down big, he says. And so I went, smiley face, buy some. And from that moment forward, I'm up. Hang on. Oh, I can't even fit it. It's going so well. From Jim Cramer saying we're going down, we have gone up 28 and now settled back to 24% in 2 weeks. Thanks, Jim. You are the best predictor ever. Just do the exact opposite of him and you're going to make money. It works for me every time. But if you're in oil and gas, he says there's a bull market in oil and gas. So get rid of that. Gas is going to be $2 a gallon next week. Hopefully, Jim Cramer says World War III is guaranteed and then we can have peace on Earth for the first time ever. So if you're looking at the overall sentiment of the market, the stock market proper is pulling back for a lot of good reasons. Jerome Powell has lost control of the bond market. And what are we now? $34 trillion in debt. We're starting another war. I mean, the people at the top in our government have gone off the rails, worse than usual. And so people are running and hiding where they can. Gold is a good spot to be. How far has that gone? Since, they're up 8% over, 17, 18 days? Not bad. But Bitcoin has more than tripled that. So I'd probably go with Bitcoin, to be honest. If you do both, but Bitcoin's better. So we all know Bitcoin is the king, but a lot of you hold Ethereum and altcoins. And when are you going to make some money? That's a good question. Bitcoin dominance is off the charts, of course, because of this BlackRock thing. All these spot Bitcoin ETFs, that's institutional billions of dollars going into Bitcoin. It's not going into anything else in the crypto world. Now, you do have some little side deals with a handful of tokens, and Ethereum's got some deals, and a futures ETF that no one cares about. But Bitcoin is where the money's going from the mainstream for now. But the way things move is the money flows into Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin can hold the move, and it's a nice bullish pattern, that money then runs into and down into Ethereum. And then Ethereum goes up. And if Ethereum holds the move, then it rolls into your big cap cryptos, like your front page cryptos, like the top 20. They do well. And if they hold the move, then it rolls down to your shitcoins, like your Pepes and your XYZs, whatever you're into, the party boys on the outside, okay? And those are the ones you jump in and out of real fast. Bitcoin you hold for life, Ethereum you're going to hold for 5 years, and all these guys, the big caps you hold for 1 to 2 years, and the party boys, you enjoy them for a week and then get out of here, man, you stink. That's the move. So, what do I think of this ETF stuff? It's ironic. The whole point of Bitcoin is that it gives you absolute control over your money. Because we were watching the big banks and the Federal Reserve continually devalue the dollar and screw over the little guy. We had the fall of the market in 2008, and the debt just grows exponentially. There has to be a way out. So a secret group of people created Bitcoin, and it gives power directly back to you. BlackRock is offering to buy a bunch of Bitcoin and let you trade shares on their Bitcoin ETF. And this way, normal people who don't want to deal with the responsibility of a wallet and key phrases and remembering passwords and stuff, can't I just give it to some big shot BlackRock? Let them handle it. I'll just send them money and then they can make it into more money, right? Now you're just trading some bogus derivative. It's not real Bitcoin. They own the Bitcoin, not you. BlackRock has it. And so on one hand, this is kind of what has to happen if you want mainstream adoption of Bitcoin. If you want the average typical goon to put money into Bitcoin, it's going to go through somebody like BlackRock or Vanguard or Charles Schwab. Now you and me, we actually own our Bitcoin. We have it in our wallet. It's ours, and it's private. But if the rest of the world, on average, wants to jump into Bitcoin, it's going to be through something like this. And that's going to make the price explode. Okay? The market cap's going to triple or quadruple real fast when these ETFs come in. And that's good if you have Bitcoin in your wallet. But my fear is that eventually they're going to squeeze out all of these private wallet holders. Through the government or the regulations, something's going to happen. Elizabeth Warren, the IMF, they're all going to group up against us and go like, hey, you can trade Bitcoin, but it has to be through somebody like BlackRock because they do extreme KYC. We know everything. They hold the Bitcoin, not you. And whenever they feel like it and we feel like it as the government, we can just pull the plug on you. And now you're back to the same old problem. It's just a different asset. So what I'm going to do is hold on to my Bitcoin until the day I'm done. The altcoins I trade and I have fun with those. But Bitcoin, I'm going to hold on to that until the aliens arrive. And then, I'll sell it, I'll keep a couple million, and I'll go into the woods in a cabin and go fishing and wait it out. Now, I don't know what your plan is. A lot of people want to buy a yacht, a hot plasticky wife. Oh, sure. Give me a cabin with some books where it's quiet. I might hear some destruction off in the distance, but it's not my problem. I got my Bitcoin sold out, and I'm just going to wait for the phone to ring. And no one's going to call because I don't owe anybody any money. I like that. Peace and quiet through Bitcoin. And this is when it starts. This marked the beginning. It wasn't this thing way back when the government was printing cash and people were just throwing it around like morons. This is the real deal now. All the funny money, all the goons are gone. This is a fundamental change. This is the institutions jumping in, and they're all stumbling over each other to be first. And no matter who's first, you win. DCA into Bitcoin, sit on it. And maybe you too can have a peaceful cabin when World War III, IV, and V hit, you won't even care.